Welcome to Logic and Argument. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so an argument. All right, at its root, you're writing, it is a set of points. Right. It's a set of points that make a point. Let's call it statements. All right, these statements have parts to them. One is the premise. Okay? When we're thinking philosophically, we got to make sure that I stay on the camera. And secondly, we have to know the parts of an argument to be able to pick apart an argument. So the premise, these are the statements that establish the point. Easy one. My farts stink. I drink a lot of coffee. The coffee makes my farts stink. Bam. Then you got the conclusion. What do you guys think the conclusion is? Dalton, Justin, get off your computer and write. If the premises establish the point, what would the conclusion be then logically? The point. All right. Now, this is probably the biggest key. Inferences. All right? Inferences is moving from the premise to the conclusion. The inference is moving from the premises to the conclusion. All right. Then we got logic. And logic is the study of correct and incorrect inferences. I want to highlight, it is not what is true, but what is logical. All right? It's not what is true, it is what is logical. Do you guys need an example of that? Okay, so let's take our last election. How many votes did Biden get? He got 80. How many did Trump get? He got 77 million. Right? No. Biden got like 83. Trump got like 77. Trump put out a piece of logic that said he got the most votes ever for a sitting president. He clearly won. Now, that was not the truth, but was it logical? Yeah, he did. His premises were spot on. He got more votes ever than any other sitting president. If he got more votes ever than any other sitting president, his conclusion, I should have won then. Totally logical. Maybe not this, but it's totally that. Right? Okay, the first step you got to do, step one, anytime we look at any argument, is you got to find the premise and the conclusion. have any of you guys, like folks, grandmas, uncles, aunts, been like, hey, you guys got to go to college. You got to do this. You know, they lay out an argument for that. You know, you guys have to find those for yourself. Now, there's different types of arguments. The first type is a deductive.
You're going to use any of these words to put a line for a
What famous detective uses deductive reasoning? Yeah, this is stuff that Holmes does, right? In a deductive argument, the conclusion follows the premise. Katie, can you see what this thing in your way, or do I have to move it?
I can do.
Okay. I'm gonna move it when we get over there. Okay, in deductive argument, there's a bunch of different categories. The first one is syllogism. In this one, you got two premises. And a conclusion. Inside of like syllogisms, you got three different ones. The first one is hypothetical. Hypotheticals have if and then statements. Go ahead and write that. If and then. All right, I want you guys to take a minute, turn to the people around and make one up. If this happens, then this happens. If and then. Go.
Sky turns blue or skin will be blue. Wait, no. Sky turns green or skin will be blue.
Are we all supposed to make one? I'm literally terrified of that. Thanks.
Cesar, I'm gonna call on you, and Nick, I'm gonna call on you. Okay, good?
If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl. No, he's still on the go.
Okay, all right, Cesar, hit it.
So it's also said that transgenders join girls' sports.
Here, say that again.
Denise Dalton, that if transgenders join girls' sports, so they're more likely to win.
Oh, then they're more likely to win. Boom.
We said if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, then he will have 7 rings.
Yeah. I thought I heard you say that, but he's not the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
So if Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl, then he's still not the greatest of all time.
Correct.
That's
But that's an opinion though.
Yep. But it can still be an opinion. So if you add different things to it, it makes more sense if you would say if he wins the 7th Super Bowl ring, then he's the greatest of all time. Right? It can still be the negative. Okay? But that's for you. Who's the greatest of all time then?
John Montana.
I'm gonna give it to you.
I'm a Niners fan.
I'm not a Niners fan, but I've seen him play, and there was some amazing things that he did. All right. Now, your next one is disjunctive. All right? This one's a little tricky. Hey, It is two premises. Get ready to write. You're writing. It's two premises joined by an or, but it doesn't tell you which one is true. All right? It's two ideas joined by an or, but it doesn't tell you which one is true. Okay, so here's an idea. Either I'm a boring teacher or the material is bad. Now for you, and realizing philosophy, and as we keep questioning, we'll get to this, it all comes down to your perspective. It's going to be the teacher, Mr. Pittman, isn't boring, or the material is bad. But it's you guys who are going to have to make that decision. So in disjunctive, you got two premises that are in conflict with each other. All right, that's maybe even a better way to say it. Disjunctive, two premises that are in a conflict. Two premises in a conflict. When you guys go to college, do they write on the board? No, they don't. All right, next one. This is my favorite. Categorical. All right, right by it, it's math. All right. If A equals B and B equals C, does A equal C?
Mhm.
That's it. Hey, categorical affirms or denies a relationship. All right? Categorical affirms or denies a relationship. What you guys have written affirms or denies a relationship. Look at somebody by you, and I want you to make up an argument for in the school. Give me a categorical argument set in this situation that we could all understand. Right? You got to think about your audience. Okay? Go.
I feel like I'm inspired now. Okay, I'm getting.
Make sure you can understand it here in the school. What's your guys' argument?
We're still thinking about it.
They're still working on it. Be patient.
How do you tell us? How do you think about this? How do you come?
Okay.
I'm kind of lost.
All right. Hey. Anybody got an idea?
No.
Okay.
Can you maybe reinstate it?
No. Let me give you an example. Right? A. All social studies teachers are coaches. Mr. Pittman and Mr. Downey are coaches. Right? So, A. Social studies teachers are coaches. B. Mr. Downey and Mr. Pittman, coaches. I'm going to give you one that's incorrect. Mr. Downey and Mr. Pittman are coaches. Mr. Williams is a coach. He has to teach social studies. Does A equal C? No. So now apply it to something you know. Avery, you're in drama. Right? So if Avery's in drama, and is anybody else here in drama? Tell me another person in drama.
Yeah, Emma.
What?
Emma.
Emma who?
Schmiegel.
Alright, and Emma Schmiegel are in drama. A equals B, B equals C. Then if you're both in philosophy, are you both in drama?
No.
No. Okay?
Nice.
So those are ones that aren't proven, that are logically wrong. Now find one that is true.
So,
And I really like how I'm not giving you an example that helps. But the opposite, so you gotta think. How much time we got left?
35, right?
10 minutes.
I don't think you can really say.
Carson, apply it to yourself. Right? You ride your little motocross thingies, right? Carson rides his motocross thingies. Who else rides motocross? Jackson. Daniels. Jackson Daniels rides motocross. Then like A equals B and B equals C, right? And then so are you and Jackson similar.
Yeah.
See? Motocross is the B. You and him do that. Then this equals that. You have a shared interest. How's that? Okay. Nick, have you guys thought of one in the back?
Kind of.
Hit us. Go ahead for this part, take your thing down so the mic can pick you up better.
Okay, Caleb plays basketball, and Mormon plays basketball. And they're kind of like,
And they both play basketball then.
yeah, and they're kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. They're like,
Basketball buddies.
yeah.
Special ball buddies. That's it, they're special ball buddies. Yeah, man. All right, how about you guys? No? No, I'm not impressed with your brain output. Katie,
If Cesar plays soccer and I play soccer, then we're related.
there you go. All right, good. So that's categorical. Now, we're gonna do 3 more minutes. The next kind is inductive. Hey, Mr. Wolf, I'm putting our mobile camera to use.
Very good.
Okay, inductive arguments.
Mr. Chairman, you eat lunch?
I eat egg.
Very good, thank you. I'm just trying to find a couple girls that were MIA yesterday.
Oh, those, yeah. Hey, Mr. Wolf. They told me that they were in the bathroom.
That was a long bathroom.
Yes. Okay, these lead from the premise to the conclusion in the most probable way. The most probable is very, very important. Okay, a deductive argument has evidence and then a conclusion. An inductive argument has evidence and then the most probable conclusion. If we would go to court, there's 2 types of cases in court. What are they?
Civil and.
When you break the law, you are a criminal. Deductive arguments are criminal arguments. Add that, all right? Deductive reasoning is a criminal court case. Inductive reasoning is a civil court case. Let me give you the best example of my life. O.J. Simpson killed his wife. In criminal court, it was not proven. The deductive reasoning had problems. In the civil case, when Nicole Simpson's Brown parents sued O.J. Simpson for wrongful death, they won. Why? Because the probability of the evidence. proved in the civil case that he was at fault. Right? How that works, I have no idea. But he was not guilty and then guilty. All right. Okay. The strength of these is based on the probability of truth. Of the premise. And there's three of them. Most probable explanation, origin, and analogy. Woo! It's been so long since I've written notes on the board, man. Kind of happy. So, for an inductive argument, you have the most probable explanation, origin, and analogy. I've already given you one example of an origin story today. Why do I love to read? Because my dad was illiterate, right? And also saved my butt, too. All right? What's an analogy? Yeah, it's a comparison, right? You know? Like those kind of things. Most of the arguments you guys make this semester, do you think you're going to be deductive or inductive? It's probably going to be inductive, all right? This stuff is very like, have you guys ever heard the term, I think, therefore I am? That is one of the most complicated deductive arguments there is. And the final conclusion of that has something like a full book worth of premise to get to that one point, right? Most of us, as we make arguments, we're going to be in this area here, right? And that's okay. Why? Because we're not philosophers. We're just learning about it, all right? All right, cool. You guys are done. Take a break. If you have any questions, email me and I'll tell you the answer or give you a question to think about. Have a good day.